Wu floated through the corridor of the International Space Station Harmony, checking his tablet for the day's tasks. He had been working as on the station for 6 months now, and most days were quiet. Too quiet if he was being honest. His job was to study alien life and prepare for first contact, but so far, he had only analyzed bacteria samples from distant moons. The station hummed around him, a gentle sound he had grown used to. Outside the windows, Earth rotated below, beautiful and blue. Wu stopped to look at it, thinking about his family and soul. His mother had cried when he left for this assignment. His father had simply said, "Make us proud." The alarm shattered his thoughts. Red lights flashed through the corridor. The emergency siren wailed. Wu grabbed a handrail to steady himself as the station's artificial gravity fluctuated. His tablet buzzed with an urgent message. Unauthorized docking at Airlock 7. All personnel report to stations. He pushed off the wall and flew toward the command center, his heart racing. In 3 years of operation, the Harmony had never had an unauthorized docking. Pirates, a malfunction. His mind raced through possibilities. When he reached the command center, he found chaos. Commander Min was shouting orders. Security Officer 1 was pulling on his protective gear. Dr. Mi-sun, the chief medical officer, stood at a monitor with her hand over her mouth. "What's happening?" Wu asked. One turned to him, his face pale. "Something docked with us, not a human ship. The computer doesn't recognize the design." Wu felt his stomach drop. This was it. This was what he had trained for, real alien contact. "I'm going down there," Commander Min said. "One, you're with me. Wu, you too. If this is first contact, we need you." They floated down to Airlock 7 in tense silence. A small crowd of crew members had already gathered, keeping their distance from the sealed door. Through the porthole window, Wu could see a strange vessel attached to their station. It was smooth and organic-looking, like a giant seed pod made of dark metal. "The airlock is cycling," one said, checking his display. "Something's coming through." "Weapons ready," Min ordered, "but don't fire unless I give the command." The inner door hissed open. Steam poured out into the corridor. Through the mist, a figure emerged. She was tall, taller than any human, with long limbs that moved with an odd grace. Her skin glowed with a faint light, shifting colors like oil on water. Right now, it flickered between dark purple and pale blue. She wore something like a tight suit, but it seemed to be part of her skin, a thin membrane that covered her entire body. The alien woman stumbled forward, and Wu saw that she was injured. Dark cracks ran through the membrane on her arms and neck. She looked at the gathered humans with large eyes that had no pupils, just swirling colors. "Please," she said, and Wu's translator earpiece crackled to life. Her voice was strange, musical but strained. "Please, I need help." One raised his weapon higher. "Identify yourself. Why have you boarded this station?" The alien's skin flashed bright red for a moment, then returned to dark purple. She raised her hand slowly, showing she meant no harm. "My name is—" "You would say nah. I come from Prime. My colony was destroyed." Wu stepped forward, ignoring one's warning look. This was his job. This was why he was here. "I'm Wu. We won't hurt you. Can you tell us what happened?" Nu's colors shifted slightly, becoming less dark. Was that a good sign? They destroyed everything. Everyone. I escaped, but... She looked down at her arms, at the dark cracks spreading through her skin. "I am dying." Dr. Mi-sun pushed forward. "Let me see her in the medical bay." But Na shook her head, a gesture that seemed universal. "No, not just any doctor. This is personal. My people, when we are hurt like this, we need someone we trust, someone who will." She struggled with the words, her translator seeming to fail. Finally, she looked directly at Wu. "Can you please wash me, human?" The corridor fell silent. Wu heard someone behind him whisper in confusion, "Wash her." What did that mean? "I don't understand," Wu said gently. Na's skin pulsed with pain, flashing red. She was struggling to stand now. This membrane protects us, but it is contaminated, radiation from my escape. If not cleansed properly, it will harden and suffocate me, but the cleansing requires trust, touch, care. She looked around at all the staring faces, then back to Wu. You stepped forward first. You speak with kindness, please. I am asking you to help me. Commander Min pulled Wu aside. This could be a trick. We don't know anything about her species. She's dying, Wu said. Look at her, she can barely stand. Dr. Mi-sun joined them. I can scan her, set up a quarantine area. If what she says is true, we have a few hours at most. Those cracks are spreading. Woon crossed his arms. This violates every protocol we have. We should contact Earth, wait for instructions. She'll be dead by then, Wu said. He looked back at Na, who was now leaning against the wall, her skin fatting to a dull gray color. Something in his chest ached. She had come here asking for help. She had traveled through space, alone, injured, and chosen to trust humans. I'll do it, Wu said. Whatever she needs, I'll help her. Commander Min studied his face for a long moment. Then he nodded. Mi-sun, set up the quarantine bay. One, full security measures, and Wu, be careful, we're trusting you. They moved Na to the medical bay, supporting her weight between them. She was surprisingly light for her size. Her skin felt warm through his gloves, and it pulsed with faint light. As they walked, she looked at him with those strange, colorful eyes. Thank you, she whispered. I hoped humans would be different. They said you were young, naive, but also kind. Who said that? Wu asked. The galaxy, Na said. Her skin flickered gold for just a moment before fatting back to gray. The whole galaxy talks about humans, the species that feels too much. In the medical bay, Dr. Mi-sun ran her scanners while Na lay on the bed. The readings made Mi-sun's eyes widen. The radiation levels are extreme, and this membrane, it's biological part of her body. Wu, she's telling the truth. Without treatment, she has maybe 6 hours. Na reached out and touched Wu's hand with her glowing fingers. Her skin was hot now, fevered. Will you wash me, human? Will you trust a stranger who entered your room? Wu thought about his mother crying, his father telling him to make them proud. He thought about Earth spinning below them, and all the people down there who had sent him up here to represent humanity among the stars. He squeezed Na's hand gently. Yes, tell me what to do. The medical bay's decontamination chamber had never been used for anything like this. Wu stood in the sealed room, looking at the various controls and wondering if he was about to make a terrible mistake. Through the thick glass window, he could see Dr. Mi-sun at her station, monitoring everything. One stood guard at the door, his weapon ready. Na sat on a bench inside the chamber, her skin now completely gray except for the dark cracks that spread like spiderwebs across her body. She looked weaker than before, her movements slow and painful. The water must be warm, Na said, her voice barely a whisper through the intercom. Not hot, not cold, like a summer rain on Prime, and it needs minerals. Salt, calcium, others I don't know your words for. Dr. Mi-sun's voice came through Wu's earpiece. I'm contacting Dr. Bora on Earth. She's a specialist in alien biology. Maybe she can help. Wu knelt beside Na. What exactly will happen? What do I need to do? Na's eyes swirled with tired colors. The membrane must come off, the contaminated layer. But if I try alone, my body will panic and make a new membrane too fast, trapping the radiation inside. I need someone to help, to gently wash away the old layer while keeping me calm, so my body regenerates slowly, correctly. How do I keep you calm? Touch, voice, presence. Na managed a weak smile. It is why this is so personal for my people. We only do this with family or those we deeply trust, but I have no family left, so I must trust a stranger. Wu felt the weight of that trust settle on his shoulders. I won't let you down. Dr. Bora's face appeared on a screen in the chamber. She looked tired, probably pulled from sleep in Seoul, but her eyes were sharp and focused. Wu, I've been analyzing the scans Mi-sun sent. This is incredible. The membrane is like a second skin, constantly regenerating. If we can remove the contaminated layer, her body should heal itself. What do I use to remove it? Wu asked. Water with the right mineral content will dissolve it, but we don't have medical supplies. You'll need to mix something yourself. Dr. Bora pulled up a chart. Try combining the electrolyte solution from the medical supplies with minerals from the hydroponics bay. The plants need similar minerals to what her body requires. Add them to warm water about 38 degrees. Wu got to work. He gathered supplies, mixing them carefully in a large basin. The water turned slightly cloudy, with a faint green tint from the plant minerals. It didn't look like much, but Dr. Bora checked the readings and nodded. That should work. Now, Wu, you need to understand. This will take hours. The membrane comes off in layers. You have to be patient and gentle, and she'll be in pain. Na spoke up, her voice weak. I am already in pain. This cannot be worse. Wu filled several containers with the mineral water and brought them to Na. Her skin had turned almost black now, with the cracks glowing red. She was shaking. Tell me about your home, Wu said as he dipped a soft cloth into the water. Tell me about Prime. Na's eyes focused on him as he began to gently press the wet cloth against her arm. She gasped, her skin flashing bright red. But then, slowly, the color shifted to a lighter shade. Prime was beautiful, she whispered. 3 moons in the sky, purple grass that sang in the wind. Our cities were grown, not built, living buildings that breathed with us. The contaminated membrane began to dissolve under Wu's careful touch, coming away in dark, flaky pieces. Underneath, fresh skin appeared, glowing with a faint blue light. But the process was slow, so slow. Hours passed. Wu worked methodically, soaking the cloth, gently washing, talking to keep Na conscious. His arms ached. His back hurt from leaning over, but he didn't stop. He told her about Earth, about Soul's lights at night, about his grandmother's cooking, about the ocean he had visited as a child. Na listened, her colors shifting with each story, sometimes red with pain but increasingly flecked with other colors. Curiosity was yellow, Dr. Bora had explained. Interest was green. You care about your family very much, Na said during a moment when the pain seemed less. I can hear it in your voice. Don't you? We did before the war. That changed everything. They taught us to fear, to hide. We forgot how to trust. She watched as Wu carefully cleaned her hand, removing the last of the contaminated membrane from her fingers. But you trust easily. You trusted me, a stranger in your home. Our home, Wu corrected. The station, it's for everyone. Na's skin pulsed with gold. What color is that? Wu asked. Through the intercom, Dr. Mi-sun answered. According to the scans, that's deep gratitude or profound respect, maybe both. Commander Min's voice joined them. He had been monitoring from the bridge. Wu, you've been in there for 4 hours. Do you need a break? No, sir, we're making progress. The girl, Na, can she hear me? Yes, Na said weakly. Why did you come to us? To humans? There are dozens of species closer to your home. Na was quiet for a moment. Wu continued his work, now cleaning her shoulder. The membrane there was thick, hardened by the radiation. It took more time, more patience. Finally, Na spoke. Because the other species know better. They know not to get involved with they know the cost of standing up to power. But humans, you are new. You haven't learned to look away yet. I hope that maybe, just maybe, you would still be foolish enough to care about a stranger. Wu smiled. My mother always said I was too foolish for my own good. Your mother is wise. More hours passed. Wu played music from his personal device, traditional Korean songs that his grandmother loved. Na found the melodies soothing, her skin glowing softer colors as she listened. He told her about human history, about wars and peace, about people who had stood up when it was hard to do so. We're not perfect, Wu said as he worked on her back, the last area with heavy contamination. We've made terrible mistakes, but we try to learn, we try to be better. That is more than most species can say, Na replied. Dr. Bora had fallen asleep at her station in Seoul, but Dr. Mi-sun kept watch. One had been replaced by another guard, though Wu barely noticed. His entire world had narrowed to this chamber, this alien woman, this act of care. Finally, after 6 hours, the last piece of contaminated membrane dissolved away. Na's skin glowed bright and clean, shifting through colors like a sunset. Gold, blue, green, soft purple. She looked at her arms, her hands, as if seeing them for the first time. It worked, she breathed. You did it. Wu sat back, exhausted. His hands were wrinkled from the water, his back screaming in protest. But he felt something warm in his chest. Pride, maybe, or simply the good feeling of helping someone in need. Na stood slowly, testing her body. The new membrane was thin and delicate but healthy. She would need rest, good food, time to fully recover, but she would live. She turned to Wu, and her entire body glowed gold. I am in your debt. By the old laws of my people, you have saved my life. I owe you everything. You don't owe me anything, Wu said. You asked for help, I gave it. That's what people should do. Na's colors shifted to something Dr. Mi-sun couldn't identify, a pattern of gold and blue and green that seemed to pulse with emotion. What people should do, Na repeated. But what people rarely do. Wu of Earth, you and your kind are either the bravest beings in the galaxy or the most dangerously naive. Through the intercom, Commander Min's voice was serious. Na, you mentioned you said they destroyed your colony. We need to know more, because if they come looking for you. Na's colors darkened to deep purple. They will come. They are always hunting, and when they arrive, you will learn why the rest of the galaxy has learned to look away. The station's conference room felt smaller than usual, with tension filling every corner. Wu sat across from Na, who looked much better after 18 hours of rest and recovery. Her skin glowed with healthy colors now, though she still moved carefully. Around the table sat Commander Min, Dr. Mi-sun, Security Officer 1, and several other senior crew members. On the main screen, Earth's government officials stared at them with serious faces. Director Park, the head of Earth's space program, looked particularly unhappy. Let me be clear, Director Park said. Earth's policy is strict neutrality in alien conflicts. We cannot harbor a refugee if it means provoking a hostile empire, especially when we barely understand galactic politics ourselves. Commander Min leaned forward. With respect, Director, we've already helped her. Sending her away now would make us look weak and untrustworthy. It would make us look smart, one muttered. Several crew members nodded. Na's skin flickered with dark purple, what Wu now knew was sadness. She started to stand. I will leave. I do not wish to bring trouble to your people. You have already done more than I deserved. Sit down, Dr. Mi-sun said firmly. We're not making decisions based on fear. Director Park's face reddened. This isn't about fear. This is about survival. The Empire controls 17 star systems. They have a fleet of over 200 warships. Earth has 1 space station and a handful of research vessels. Do you understand those odds? I do, Wu said quietly. Everyone looked at him. But I also understand that Na came to us for help. She trusted us when no one else would help her. If we turn her away now, what does that say about humanity? It says we're smart enough to pick our battles, one replied. Na stood again, and this time no one stopped her. There is something you should know, something I have not yet told you. They did not attack my colony randomly. They were hunting for something, for me. The room fell silent. Commander Min's eyes narrowed. What do you mean? Na took a deep breath. Her skin shifted through several colors, settling on a serious dark blue. I am not just a refugee. I am Princess Na of the royal family, and I carry within my genetic code something they desperately want. A key. A key to what? Dr. Mi-sun asked. To the ancient terraforming networks, Na said. Millions of years ago, a precursor race built machines across the galaxy. Machines that can transform dead worlds into living ones in a matter of weeks. But they are locked, dormant, waiting for the right genetic sequence to activate them. Wu felt his stomach drop. And you have this sequence. My family has carried it for generations, passed down through our bloodline. It was supposed to be used to help refugees, to give the homeless new worlds. But if they obtain it, Na's colors flashed red. They could expand their empire across hundreds of worlds. Nothing could stop them. Director Park's face had gone pale. This changes everything. You cannot stay on that station. The will come for you and we cannot protect you. Where should she go? Wu challenged. The Galactic Council, they've been ignoring the expansion for years. They won't help. Nun nodded sadly. The Council is afraid. Many species remember the last Great War. They would rather sacrifice a few colonies than risk another galaxy-wide conflict. A junior engineer named Dong, who had been quiet until now, raised his hand. What if we make it impossible for them to attack us? Everyone looked at him. The young man blushed but continued. We have the experimental quantum communication array. It's powerful enough to broadcast to every major species in the galaxy simultaneously. What if we tell everyone what they are doing? What if we broadcast Na's story, show the evidence of their crimes, and make it all public? Commander Min sat up. If the entire galaxy is watching, they cannot attack us without becoming universal enemies, Dong finished. They might be powerful, but even they cannot fight everyone at once. One shook his head. That's assuming other species care. What if they don't? They will care about the terraforming networks, Dr. Mi-sun said excitedly. If Na offers to share the genetic key with the Galactic Council for peaceful purposes, in exchange for her protection, every species will have a stake in keeping her alive. Na's skin pulsed with golden light. You would do this, risk everything for someone you met yesterday. We already risked everything when we helped you, Wu said. We might as well see it through. Director Park was shaking his head on the screen. I cannot authorize this. This is beyond reckless. You would be painting a target on Earth itself. Or we would be showing the galaxy what humanity stands for, Commander Min said quietly. Director, with respect, history remembers those who stood up when it mattered, not those who played it safe. The debate continued for another hour. Some crew members wanted to hand Na over to thee and avoid conflict. Others argued for the broadcast plan. A few suggested trying to hide her somewhere else. Wu watched Na during all of this, saw her colors shift between hope and despair. Finally, Commander Min called for a vote. All crew members present. Should we protect Na and implement the broadcast plan, knowing it might bring the down on us? One by one, hands went up. Dr. Mi-sun voted yes immediately. Dong followed. Wu raised his hand without hesitation. Even some who had argued against it raised their hands slowly, knowing they couldn't abandon her now. Only one kept his hand down at first. Then, with a heavy sigh, he raised it too. I still think this is crazy, but I won't be the one who said we should abandon someone we've already saved. The vote was unanimous. Director Park looked like he had aged 10 years. I cannot support this officially, but I will not stop you either. God help us all. The screen went dark. Commander Min turned to his crew. We have work to do. Dong, start preparing the quantum array. Dr. Mi-sun, work with Na on her testimony. We need evidence, documentation, everything. Wu, help her with the presentation. One, prepare our defenses. If this goes wrong, we need to be ready. As people scattered to their tasks, Wu walked with Na to a quiet observation deck. Through the window, Earth rotated peacefully below them, unaware of the storm brewing above. You are all insane, Na said, but her colors were bright with gratitude. No other species would do this. Maybe that's our problem, Wu said with a small smile. We're too new to know better. or brave enough to do what's right even when it is dangerous. Na placed her glowing hand on the window. I have traveled to many worlds, Wu. I have met dozens of species, and I have never seen anything like humanity. You feel so deeply. You care so much. Other species see this as weakness, but I wonder if it might be your greatest strength. Before Wu could respond, alarms blared through the station. One's voice came over the intercom, tight with fear. Long-range sensors have detected 3 ships changing course. Warships. They're heading straight for us. Na's skin went completely black. They found me. They must have tracked my escape pod's energy signature. How long do we have? Wu asked. At their speed, 30 hours, maybe less. 30 hours to prepare a broadcast that could change galactic politics forever. 30 hours before the most powerful empire in the region arrived at their doorstep. 30 hours to prove that humanity's compassion was not weakness, but the foundation of a different kind of strength. Wu looked at Na, then at Earth below. His mother had cried when he left. His father had told him to make them proud. Then we better get to work, he said. The station burst into activity. Every person had a task. Some prepared the broadcast equipment. Others gathered evidence from Na's damaged escape pod. Dr. Mi-sun worked with Na to document the atrocities. One, despite his doubts, organized their pathetic defensive capabilities with grim determination. And Wu, the young man who had simply agreed to help a stranger who asked to be washed, found himself at the center of something much bigger than he ever imagined. The whole galaxy would soon be watching, and humanity's choice would echo across the stars for generations to come. 28 hours had passed in a blur of frantic preparation. The International Space Station Harmony, designed for peaceful research, had transformed into something between a broadcast station and a fortress. Every crew member worked without sleep, driven by a mixture of fear and determination. Wu stood in the recording chamber with Na, reviewing her testimony one more time. Her skin showed her exhaustion in muted colors, but her voice remained strong. They had spent hours crafting her message, making sure it would reach hearts across the galaxy. Are you ready? Wu asked. Na's colors shifted to a determined orange. I am, though I still cannot believe you are doing this, risking your entire species for one person. We're not doing it for one person, Dr. Mi-sun said from the control panel. We're doing it because it's right, and because if we don't stand up now, we'll never be able to look at ourselves the same way again. Outside, one had done something remarkable with the station's limited resources. He had the mining drones used for asteroid collection, turning them into makeshift defenders. It was like bringing a knife to a gunfight, but it was something. The station's few defensive lasers, meant for clearing space debris, were charged and ready. It was pathetic compared to warships, but no one had given up. Commander Min entered the chamber, his face showing the strain of command. Though we'll be here in 2 hours. Once we start the broadcast, there's no going back. This will either work or... He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't need to. Then we should begin, Na said. Dong's fingers flew across the quantum array controls. Routing power from everything non-essential. We'll have maybe 1 hour of broadcast time before we drain the station completely. Make it count. Wu stepped out of frame, giving Na the space to tell her story. The camera focused on her, and across the galaxy, billions of beings would soon see what he saw. A young woman, glowing with alien beauty, who had lost everything but still had the courage to speak. People of the galaxy, Na began, her translator carrying her words in hundreds of languages simultaneously. My name is Princess Na of Prime. 10 days ago, the Empire destroyed my home. They killed my family, my friends, everyone I loved. And they did it for one reason: conquest. The broadcast showed images from Na's damaged escape pod, footage of the attack, cities burning, ships exploding. The beautiful purple grass of Prime turned black with ash. Even Wu, who had seen these images before, felt his throat tighten. "The hunt me because I carry a genetic key," Na continued. "A key to ancient terraforming networks that could give them unlimited expansion. They will stop at nothing to capture me, and the Galactic Council does nothing because they are afraid." She paused, letting that sink in. Then her colors shifted to gold, and she gestured to where Wu stood off camera. But one species was not afraid. One species, young and small, with no military power, chose to help when I asked. The humans of Earth took me in when I was dying. They risked everything to save a stranger. And now, facing the might of the Empire, they stand with me still. Wu felt every eye on the station turn to him. He hadn't expected to be part of this. But Na continued. "I offer this key to the Galactic Council freely for peaceful purposes. Let it be used to help refugees, to create new homes for the displaced. But I will only surrender it if my asylum is guaranteed. And I ask this question to every species listening. Will you let the attack those who show compassion? Will you stand by while they punish mercy?" The broadcast switched to show the approaching warships, captured by the station's long-range sensors. 3 massive vessels, bristling with weapons, growing closer by the minute. "This is what the galaxy has become," Na said sadly. "A place where kindness is punished, where helping others means destruction, unless we choose differently, unless we remember what we should be." The broadcast ended. The station fell silent as Dong sent it across the galaxy, to the Galactic Council, to every major species, to news networks and governments and ordinary people living their lives on distant worlds. One alien woman asking the galaxy to remember its conscience. "Now we wait," Commander Min said. They didn't have to wait long. Within minutes, the station's communication systems exploded with incoming messages. Some were supportive, many were afraid. The Galactic Council demanded they cease immediately. They sent a message that was just one word: surrender. But other messages came too, from individual beings across the galaxy, from small colonies and resistance movements, from people who had thought no one cared anymore. They thanked Na. They thanked humanity. And slowly, something unexpected began to happen. Ships started arriving. "Commander, we have multiple vessels appearing on sensors," one reported, his voice shocked. "Not warships, civilian ships, transports, medical vessels, even cargo haulers. They're coming to us." Wu watched in amazement as ships from dozens of species appeared around the station. They weren't fighters. They had no weapons. But they came anyway, forming a loose ring around the Harmony. A spontaneous flotilla of witnesses, of people who refused to look away. "They're creating a perimeter," Dr. Misun whispered. "They're standing with us." An hour later, the warships arrived. 3 sleek, deadly vessels that dwarfed everything around them. They stopped just outside the civilian flotilla, their weapons powered but not firing. The station held its breath. A communication request came through. Commander Min accepted it. The general who appeared on screen was intimidating. He had gray skin, sharp features, and eyes that held no warmth. "I am General of the Empire. You harbor our property. Surrender the immediately or be destroyed." "She's not property," Commander Min said firmly. "She's a person asking for asylum." "You have no authority to grant asylum. You are one small station. We are the Empire. Stand aside." It was Wu who spoke next, surprising himself. "General, may I ask you something?" The general's eyes focused on him with cold interest. "Speak, human." "Your empire is built on taking what you want by force. You conquer, you dominate, you control. But answer me this. When was the last time anyone willingly gave you something? When did anyone trust you?" General's expression didn't change. "Trust is irrelevant. Power is all that matters." "Is it?" Wu gestured to the flotilla of civilian ships. "Because right now, dozens of species are here, not because we forced them, not because we have power, but because they believe in what we're doing, they trust us. Can you say the same?" "They are fools, as are you. Maybe, Wu admitted, but we're fools together, and that means something. More ships were arriving now. The number around the station had grown to over 100. News vessels broadcast everything in real time. The entire galaxy was watching to see if they would fire on civilians, watching to see if might really did make right. Na stepped forward, her skin glowing bright and defiant. General, I remember you. You led the attack on my home. You gave the order that killed my family. I follow the Emperor's commands, said without emotion. Then tell your Emperor this: I will never surrender. Not to you, not to anyone who rules through fear. The humans have shown me that there is another way. That kindness can be stronger than weapons. That trust can build what force never could. General was silent for a long moment. His ship's weapons remained powered. One shot could destroy the station instantly, but every eye in the galaxy would see it. Every species would know that they destroyed those who showed mercy. You are making a mistake, humans, finally said. The galaxy is not kind. It will destroy you for this foolishness. Maybe, Commander Min replied, but we'd rather be destroyed standing for something than survive by standing for nothing. The communication cut off. The ships held their position. Minutes passed like hours. Wu stood beside Na, ready for whatever came next. If these were his last moments, at least he had spent them doing something meaningful. Then slowly the warships began to move, but not toward the station, away from it, retreating. The entire station erupted in shocked celebration. The civilian ships around them flashed their lights in joy. Across the galaxy, billions of beings watched as the mighty empire backed down, unable to attack in full view of the universe. Na's entire body glowed gold so bright it hurt to look at her. She turned to Wu, tears streaming down her face in colors he had never seen before. You did it, she whispered. You impossible, crazy, beautiful humans, you actually did it. 1 month had passed since the standoff that changed everything. Wu stood at the same observation window where this had all begun, watching the traffic around the station. So much had changed in such a short time. The International Space Station Harmony was no longer just a research facility. It had become something like an embassy, a meeting place where dozens of species came to talk, trade, and learn about the humans who had stood up to the Empire. Ships arrived daily, bringing ambassadors, scientists, and ordinary people who simply wanted to meet the station's crew. Still hard to believe, isn't it? Dr. Mi-sun said, joining him at the window. She carried a tablet full of medical reports from various species. The collaborative research that had started after the standoff was producing real results. Every day I wake up and think it was a dream, Wu admitted. And then I see all those ships and remember it actually happened. The Galactic Council had been forced to act after the broadcast. Embarrassed by their inaction and pressured by billions of citizens across the galaxy, they officially condemned the Empire's aggression. Economic sanctions were imposed. Trade routes were closed. The expansion, which had seemed unstoppable, ground to a halt almost overnight. But more importantly, the Council had granted Na full asylum, and she had kept her promise, sharing the genetic key to the terraforming networks, not just with the Council, but with a joint oversight committee that included representatives from dozens of species, including humans. Dr. Bora had been appointed to that committee. The young scientist from Seoul who had helped save Na from her quarters on Earth now worked with alien researchers, using the key's information to develop medical treatments. 3 previously incurable diseases had already been cured using knowledge encoded in the ancient genetic sequences. Where is Na today? Dr. Mi-sun asked. Meeting with the resistance leaders, Wu said. They're organizing a liberation movement for the colonies still under control. The broadcast had done more than just save one alien woman. It had inspired beings across the galaxy. Resistance groups that had been hiding in the shadows found new courage. The people, scattered and defeated, were uniting again. And they weren't alone. Other oppressed species were standing up too, emboldened by the example of one small human station. "Wu," Commander Min's voice came through his communicator. "Report to the conference room. We have visitors." When Wu arrived, he found the conference room filled with important people. Earth's new space ambassador, representatives from the Galactic Council, and to his shock, his own parents on the video screen. "Mom, Dad." His mother was crying but smiling. His father stood straight and proud. "We wanted to be here when they told you," his father said. "Told him what?" Wu looked around confused. Earth's ambassador, a woman named Ambassador, stepped forward. "Wu, your actions over the past month have changed humanity's position in the galaxy. Earth's government has decided to create a new position, Galactic Cultural Ambassador, someone who will represent human values across the stars, build relationships with other species, and help guide our people as we take our place in the larger community." Wu's heart began to race. "And you're telling me this because?" "Because the position is yours if you want it," Ambassador said with a smile. "You've already proven you're perfect for the job." His mother wiped her tears. "We're so proud of you, Wu, so proud." The job was overwhelming to think about. No more quiet research. He would be traveling to alien worlds, meeting with governments, representing all of humanity. But as he thought about it, he realized it felt right. This was what he was meant to do. "I accept," he said. The room erupted in applause. Even the Galactic Council representatives, usually so formal, seemed genuinely pleased. Later that evening, Wu found Na on the observation deck, their usual meeting spot. She had made a full recovery, her skin now vibrant with healthy colors. She spent most of her time working with the resistance movement, but they still found time to talk nearly every day. "I heard about your promotion," Na said, her skin glowing with warm colors. "Ambassador Wu, it suits you." "It's terrifying," he admitted. "I'm just a scientist who agreed to help someone. I don't know how to be an ambassador." "You already are one," Na said. "You represent what humanity is at its best, compassionate, brave, willing to help even when it's hard." They stood in comfortable silence, watching the ships come and go. Finally, Na spoke again. "Do you know what the other species call you, the humans?" "I'm afraid to ask." "The heart species," Na said, her colors shifting to soft gold. "They say humans feel too much, care too much. Most species see emotions as weakness. They've built walls around their hearts to survive in a harsh galaxy. But you feel everything openly. You cry for strangers. You risk everything for people you just met." "That doesn't sound like a compliment," Wu said. "It is the highest compliment," Na corrected. "Because your hearts, your capacity to care, that is what changed everything. That is what made dozens of species fly to our defense. That is what made the retreat. Not weapons, not technology, just the simple power of beings who care." Wu thought about that day a month ago when Na had stumbled into the station, dying and desperate. When she had asked him to wash her, to help her in her moment of complete vulnerability. He had said yes without thinking, just following his instinct to help someone in need. "I was scared that day," he admitted. "When I agreed to help you, I didn't know what I was doing." "None of us ever do," Na said. "But you did it anyway, that is courage." More news had come in that week. Commander Min had been promoted to Admiral, tasked with building humanity's first real space fleet, not for conquest, but for defense and exploration. Dr. Mi-sun was leading a new multi-species medical exchange program, with doctors and researchers from 20 different species working together. Even one had found his calling, teaching conflict resolution at the new Galactic Peace Academy. And across the galaxy, something called the Harmony Principle was being discussed in councils and governments. Named after the station where it all started, it was a simple idea that all species have an obligation to help those who ask for it, regardless of political convenience. It was becoming the foundation of a reformed galactic council. "Do you ever think about going home?" Wu asked Na. "To Prime, I mean, if the resistance succeeds." Na's colors shifted through several shades before settling on a complex pattern of blue and gold. "I think about it, but home isn't just a place, it's the people who care about you, and I have found a new home here, with you, with all of you." "You're always welcome on the Harmony," Wu said. "I know, and that is the gift your species has given me. Not just my life, though you saved that too, but the gift of knowing that kindness still exists, that trust is possible, that the galaxy can be better than it is." 5 years would pass before Wu would fully understand the impact of that one moment when he agreed to help a stranger. The Harmony Principle would become law across 80% of the galaxy. The Empire would collapse from within as its own people demanded reform. Humanity would grow from one space station to dozens of colonies, always welcomed because of their reputation for compassion. But standing there that night, watching the stars with his friend, Wu already knew the most important thing. They had proven that kindness wasn't weakness, that helping others wasn't foolish, that even in a vast, often cruel galaxy, one act of compassion could ripple outward and change everything. "Thank you," Na said suddenly. "For what?" "For washing me that day, for taking a chance on a stranger, for showing the galaxy what it had forgotten." Wu smiled. "You don't have to thank me. You asked for help, I gave it. That's what people should do." Na's entire body glowed with golden light, brighter than ever before. "And that, Wu of Earth, is why your species will succeed where so many others have failed. You still believe that. Even after everything, you still believe the simple answer is the right one. Help when asked. Care when others don't. Stand up when it's hard." "Is it really that simple?" Wu asked. "It is exactly that simple," Na said, "and exactly that hard, which is why it takes real courage." They stood together as the station rotated, Earth coming into view. Wu thought about his mother crying when he left, his father telling him to make them proud. He had done more than that. He had helped show the galaxy what humanity could be. Not warriors, not conquerors, but beings who cared deeply, who helped freely, and who believed that compassion could be stronger than force. The heart species, the ones who felt too much. And maybe, just maybe, that was exactly what the galaxy needed. The story that began with one alien woman asking one human for help had rippled across the stars, touching billions of lives. Refugees found new homes on terraformed worlds. Medical treatment saved countless beings. Peace movements grew stronger. And humanity, the young species that didn't know better than to care about strangers, became a leading voice in galactic affairs. All because one person said yes when someone asked for help. As Wu looked at Earth below, he made a promise to himself. No matter where his new job took him, no matter how important or busy he became, he would never forget this lesson. He would never be too important to help someone in need. He would never let the galaxy make him forget to care. Because that was what humans did. They felt deeply, they cared openly, they helped strangers. And that, more than any weapon or technology, was their true strength. Na placed her glowing hand on his shoulder, a gesture of deep friendship in her culture. "Ready for your next adventure, Ambassador?" Wu smiled, "As ready as I'll ever be." "Good," Na said, "because the galaxy is waiting to meet the species that taught us all to care again." And together they watched the stars, knowing that somewhere out there, someone else might need help. Someone else might ask a stranger for compassion. And because of what happened here, there was a better chance that help would come. The ripples continued spreading outward, touching lives in ways they would never fully know. But that was okay. They didn't help for recognition or reward. They helped because it was right. That was the human way. That was the lesson one alien woman taught the galaxy when she entered a human's room and asked a simple question. "Can you please wash me, human?" And the human, without hesitation, had answered, "Yes, tell me what to do."